month now, and I'm going absolutely batshit stir crazy. It's cold out there today, although the sun's nice and warm. It's -12, and actually it's melting the snow on my cement pad in places, but we have a wind of 50 to 70 clicks, which is lifting some of that snow. Not a lot of it, because most of the snow is being stuck down because of the warmth of the sun, but just enough is being picked up and thrown across the highway, which is melting. But because the highway's melting and the snow's coming across, it's catching, and with the traffic, it's forming a snow ice rut all the way down the highway, just making a mess, and glare ice in many places. So when it freezes tonight, it's going to be an absolute skating rink. That is about where we're at right now. This cold weather is actually nice because we're only middle of March, and I don't want to get the bees out quite yet. The further I can get into March, pushing April, I always figure the better, because getting them out too early in March, inevitably there's going to be a cold period come before we actually get into spring. So if we can just stay a bit cooler right about now for the next 2 weeks, which looks like that's what's going to happen, get as close to April as we can, and then if we can get that warm weather, get those bees out, get them flying, getting brooding, get some treatments and some patties onto them, a little bit of syrup. Let's get that brood nest going. I can hardly wait. March is always a tough month for me. This is the month where you see all the stress in the sheds, but they're actually not looking too bad. The fronts are fairly clean, and I'm not seeing any runny colonies. Clusters are disappearing a bit. Through this milder weather, the fans have been going on more frequently, which is a good sign. The colonies are coming out to the entrance just a little bit, but not as much as most years, because I think these colonies are a little bit smaller. And I'm losing sight of some of them as they are moving up into their box. So they're not overly big, which has kind of got me a little puzzled, because I set them up just masterfully, and all winter I've been seeing them kind of creep smaller and smaller and then out of sight on me. And I'm thinking that's probably because I have more of a varroa and viral infection than I appreciated. It never helps with bee longevity. And the severity of the infection, I'm not exactly sure. But I was seeing red flags in the fall. So it just put it at that case of worry all winter, wondering what I'm actually seeing within the shed. Fuss. I've been actually able to keep busy for the last few weeks on business and other types of things on the farm to redirect my attention. But March is always a bitch. My wife actually said I've handled March so far a lot better than other years. Most years she has to actually toss me out of the house because I'm apparently unbearable. Maybe I'm about to get into that state. But a beekeeper's memory is only as good as 1 year, and as my memory serves me correct, we need a good spring. And with a good spring, we'll be able to build some bees. And I think we are going to be just right on the money. But if things just turn sideways on me, even just a little bit, I don't think I have enough to, I'll be wishing I bought 200 packages. Because by the time I figure out that I'll need to, it'll be too late. And I don't have that nuke battery of mine behind me like I always preach, because I used that entire nuke battery to replace losses that fall. So I've just been able to hold my operation together So I don't have that reserve to tap into. And if I were smart, I would be buying that reserve right now to ensure that I had them. But I just got to trust my resources here. Things are going to follow through. I just have to let it follow through. And if it doesn't, then I'll just deal with it then. Just got to let the plan play itself out. Too many questions. But if anything is giving me that optimistic spirit is the sunshine. You walk out, the wind can bugger off, but that sunshine, it is providing a lot of energy and that feeling of initiative. Once we get going, we won't stop. We'll hit the ground running and we'll get these bees going.